I have a lot of books to get through this week. It's hard to read DNFs. I soft DNF'd 5 books last year and I have challenged myself to finish them up. Now I started this challenge last week and I only ended up getting 1 book read, which means I still have 4 books that I need to finish up in 7 days time. Do I think I can do it? Honestly, I am not sure, but we're going to try our very hardest to get it done and finish all of my DNFs from the last year. So let's get right into this challenge and let's get reading. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to this week's reading vlog. This week is part 2 of my challenge of trying to finish all of the books I soft DNF'd last year. I soft DNF'd 5 books last year. I am very much a mood reader, so occasionally I have to DNF a book just to get myself out of a reading slump. Because of that, I soft DNF'd 5 books last year, and those books were Brimstone by Callie Hart, Count My Lies by Sophie Stava, What an Owl Knows by Jennifer Eckerman, My Chair Just Got Stolen. I guess we'll be standing for the rest of this. Anyways. Leather and Lark by Bryn Weaver, The Night is Defying by Chloe C. Penaranda. So out of these 5 books, I only managed to read one of them in part 1. Yeah, I only managed to finish up Brimstone in part 1 of this video, and if you watched last week, you will see why. If not, I will link it. You guys can go watch it after this video, or you can go watch it now and then come back to this. But I managed to finish Brimstone last week, which was a big accomplishment for me, but also means I have a lot of books to get through this week. Yeah, 4 books to get through, and I just started Count My Lies last night, and I restarted What an Owl Knows yesterday as well. So that is where we're at. These 2, we have not restarted yet, so these we're going to set aside. They are for a little bit later in the week, hopefully. And then let's talk about where we're at. So, What an Owl Knows is a nonfiction book about owls. I have been reading it as my morning book. I restarted it at page 22, and I'm currently on page 31. So I read 9 pages of it so far in my reread. That is where we're at. We're on page 31, and it is 293 pages. So we have about 262 pages to go. We'll see how that goes over the next 7 or 8 days. And also, I restarted Count My Lies yesterday. I was on chapter 5, which is page 39. So I started on page 39, and I only ended up reading to chapter 8, which is page 74. So I only read it about 35 pages of this book, but I have restarted both of these, which is exactly where we're going to be restarting this challenge. We are going to be challenging myself to hopefully finish this one in the next 2 days. So let's get reading. It is Thursday, so I owe you an update. Please ignore the fact that there's a million heaters going around me. It is so cold out today that, yeah, you're just gonna have to deal with that in the background. I'm sorry, it's too cold. But anyways, DNF challenge update. So you saw this morning, I was reading more of What an Owl Knows. I'm getting there. Honestly, I have not read very much. I've just read maybe 10 to 15 pages a day. The book is interesting, and I love owls, and I love that I'm learning more about owls, but I wish that it was written a little bit better. It kind of feels like a mix between a dissertation, but also I feel like it was not edited and trimmed down correctly, because I feel like you start getting information about the owls and they go into these stories about research and stuff, but they focus on weirdly specific aspects of it. I don't know. I'm only a couple chapters in, so I'm kind of curious to see what the second half of the book is going to be like. But I feel like they go on these researchers, and they just kept going into so many different details about how they capture the owls to get the information for the research, and they just kept going on all this. Each team is this team is capturing the owls this way to get the research this way, this team's capturing the owls this way, and it's that's cool, but I don't. One, it makes me kind of upset that they're capturing all these owls and the way they're doing it. They're not harming them, but they're definitely causing them distress and trauma and that kind of stuff, which I don't love. And 2, I'm more interested in the owl themselves, not how the researchers are doing it. So a little bit mixed feelings, but we're gonna keep reading it and see how it goes. And then Count My Lies, this book, let me tell you. So I was reading through this book, and I was kind of I was vibing it when I first picked it back up, and then I got a good chunk in, and I like 175 pages, 150 pages, and I kind of lost the vibe of it. I was kind of getting like, okay, where is this going? It's getting a little bit boring, okay? And then I was reading this morning, as you guys saw, and we switched viewpoints, and I'm so much hooked again. I'm hooked again. I am. The viewpoint switch was at such a good moment because now I'm like, oh my gosh, we have a whole new character whose mind we're inside of. We get to see this story from her side and like what's actually been going on with her, because I knew there's more to the story with her. She clearly wasn't just like the side character that was just going along for the ride. Like there was stuff going on. So yeah, I'm re-hooked and I'm excited to keep reading the story and see where it goes. So I'm right back in. Page 200 and I'm right back in. Okay, I've read like 2 more pages and I feel like I know where this is going. I could be wrong, but like I have a big guess, so we'll see. I already had this guess in mind, but like now I really feel like that's what's happening. I have a very, very exciting book update for you guys. I finished Count My Lies last night and I ended up liking it so much more than I thought I was going to. So last time I checked in with you guys, I was just saying how it had swapped viewpoints and I was suddenly more invested and I thought I knew where it was going, but like I was curious to see how it happened. And yeah, the second half of this book definitely picked back up and made me more interested again. Once we swapped viewpoints, it was really exciting because you had this whole new perspective on the entire situation and you're kind of just waiting to see when it was going to blow up, and I was so excited for that because it was just so good. And yeah, that swap perspective came at the perfect time, and then the ending, like I was only semi right about how it was going to happen, about what was going to happen. I was only semi right, which I'm happy about, honestly. I love when a book surprises me. So yeah, I was only semi right about what was going to happen, like, and then even with that, there was a twist in addition to that I did not see coming, but I was very happy and very satisfied with. So I ended up really, really enjoying this book like a lot more than I thought I was going to. So thinking about rating, I think I'm going to be giving it a, well, I really made that quite dramatic by my battery dying, so I don't think you guys heard, but I think I'm going to be rating this a 4 out of 5 stars. I was thinking about it, I was torn between a 3.75 out of 5 or a 4 out of 5 stars, and I kind of just realized, like, why am I so strict in my ratings? Like, I feel like I don't need to be so strict. I could be kinder in my ratings. I could give a little bit more of like a fluff and gentleness. Like, I'm obviously not going to rate something different than what I feel it is. If I feel like something, I'm going to rate it that. But like, if I'm stuck between like a 3.75 or a 4-star, like, why not just bump and lean towards the higher one and be kind for the book? So, because clearly there's something about the book that is giving me 4-star feelings, you know? And yes, I feel like why not just be kinder instead of going down to, like, I'm not saying that 3.75 is a bad rating, because for me that is a really, really good rating still, but I feel like I'm so like harsh with my ratings. I never give 5 stars. I literally never rate books 5 stars. So maybe if I am a little bit less strict with my rating, I could find a 5-star book this year or several 5-star books this year. I feel like if I think about books last year, there's a couple that like I could bump up to 5 stars. I'm not gonna go change them now because like it is what it is, but like there's definitely a couple that they ended up being my favorite books of the year that I feel like I could definitely bump up to 5 stars. So like this year I think I'm gonna be kinder with my ratings and hopefully I will find some 5-star books. That would be amazing. But this one, 4 out of 5 stars. I really like the characters. I really like the story. I really like the twist. I really liked the point of view swaps, and it was a fun like mystery that wasn't really like, it was like a mystery. It wasn't much of like a thriller. Like it wasn't anything like, I mean, there's a little bit of thriller aspect to it, but it wasn't anything too thrillery. It was more just like a slow burn of mystery building up that I ended up really, really enjoying. So yeah, that is Count My Lies by Sophie Stava. So proud to finish that. I'm so happy. And then an update on What Now Knows. I am on chapter 4. Oh my gosh, I've read so little. I'm on page like 77, so yikes. How many pages are there? 293. I mean, 200 pages? 220 pages? Like, I feel like I can do that this weekend, maybe. If I like put the time and dedication into it. Like, that's several hours, but I can still put the time and dedication to it, maybe, if I feel like it. So I'm thinking this weekend we're gonna maybe try to finish this one, and then it's Friday, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned that, but and then we have these 2 books left, and I think I'm gonna try to get back into Leather and Lark. I do want to read this one. I do, but I do remember this one being dense and heavy. And after just pushing myself through Brimstone last week, I don't know, this is gorgeous. Okay, so maybe I do want to read this. Well, we're going to pick one of these to read this weekend and hopefully finish up, because we're going to finish this one and one of these bare minimum, okay? That, if I do that, I would consider that a win, because it's hard to read DNFs, because like you have to like get past the fact that you DNF'd it for a reason. So yeah, I think things are going really well, and I'm excited to finish up or continue with my next book this weekend. Final update time. First things first, I am sick, so please ignore everything about me, how I look, how I sound, all the good stuff. But it's time for an update on 2 books I've been reading. First one's first is What an Owl Knows. You guys saw me reading this in the morning a bit. I've been trying to read it in the morning. I got to page 84, so I'm not even close to finishing. It's 293 pages, so I have over 200 pages left. So no, I did not finish this one in my challenge, unfortunately, but this one I found that it's just very, very hard to binge. Just the way the information is presented, it's not easy to just sit down and read and read and read. I feel like I only want to read for a little bit, and then I'm like, yeah, I need a break. So I feel like this one's just not one that I can binge, and because of that, like, it was hard to get done in this challenge. But I'm going to continue to read it. I'm going to keep it as my morning book for the month of February. So I've just added it kind of to my February TBR, and I'm hoping to finish it by the end of February. You'll probably see me in my weekly vlogs reading it in the morning, so I'll keep going at it. But yeah, I did not finish this one, but it's enjoyable. I like reading about owls, but like I said, it just feels like I'm reading such a research paper that it's kind of taking away from like the enjoyment of it. I'm hoping the later half of the book does get better though, so fingers crossed. And then you guys saw that I picked up Leather and Lark to give it a retry by Bryn Weaver, and I actually, if you can't tell, there's no bookmark in it because I ended up really liking this the second time around. Like, I really enjoyed it the second time around, and I completely finished it. So I read it in, well, like in like 2 days. I read it in Saturday, and then I finished it up today. Sunday I didn't read it all because that's when my sickness started, and when I felt, today I feel pretty bad, but pretty bad yesterday. I felt really bad, so I did not read at all. So I read this in like 2 days, Saturday and Monday, and I finished up, and I really ended up enjoying it. I thought it was fun. I think I ended up liking it a little bit more than the first one even, which is Butcher and Blackbird. I think I like this book better in the series. I ended up really like their romance. It was very much slow burn. Like, there was such a slow burn in it, and it was very much yearning. There is some spice in it. It does get a little bit spicy, but there's some spicy scenes, but not that many spicy scenes. And like I said, it's a slow burn, so it takes a while to get there. I really liked the building up their relationship, and I really enjoyed that they really built a connection together. So this one is fake marriage to save people they love, basically. So it's fake marriage, and then it's close proximity, and then it kind of goes from there. And yeah, it's a dark romance, so keep that in mind. There's definitely dark romance themes to it, and he is part of well, he is a contract killer, and she is a songwriter, but she has a secret of her own. And yeah, it was really, really enjoyable, and it didn't really make me like giggle out loud and stuff, but it made me smile a little bit, made me not like blush, but like it was a really sweet romance, and I really ended up liking it, and I thought it was really fun. So I think it's like a theme this year, it appears, but I think it's about a 4 out of 5 stars, which means I loved it. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun, and I will be continuing the trilogy. I will say, like, they're supposed to be standalones, this trilogy, but the epilogue of this book I feel like is very much going to play a role in the 3rd book. So like, they do feel a bit connected for sure. So I would read this trilogy in order if you are going to tackle it. Start with book 1 and continue. Actually, no, you definitely need to read this trilogy in order. Like, you don't have to, but to get the full storyline impact, you definitely need to. So start with Butcher and Blackbird, and then read Leather and Lark, and then go to the last one, Scythe and Sparrow. Sorry, I had to find the name, Scythe and Sparrow. So then go to the last one, which I do plan to read hopefully soon, maybe in the next couple of months, because I want to finish up this trilogy while it's still kind of fresh in my mind. I really feel like I want to try to read my series closer together if I can, assuming like they're out and if I own them / can pick them up, because you get such a bigger impact when you can like remember what happened in the book before. So I'm going to try to read my series closer together in the future. So hopefully we'll be finishing up this one really soon. But I am happy that I finished this one up for my DNF challenge, and I'm really proud of myself, which means that I only have one book that I didn't touch at all for this challenge, which is The Night is Defying, and I'm kind of okay that I didn't touch this one. One, because I remember it just being really dense and heavy, and I'm a little afraid to read that right now, especially being sick, and two, because book 3 recently came out and I recently ordered it, so I feel like I don't want to read this and then just go right into book 3. I'm also thinking I might need to reread book 1. I can't decide. If you've read this, do I need to reread book 1 before I read book 2? Because it's been like over a year. Do you think that I need to? Let me know. But yeah, I did not get to this one in this challenge, but I will be reading that one this year. Like, I'm gonna finish this up this year, just apparently not yet. I did get Leather and Lark done. So happy. And I'm making my way through One Owl Knows. So I feel like that is a big win. I finished my other 2 books from last year that I DNF'd, which were Brimstone, such a fat one, and then Count My Lies. So I just feel like I'm really proud of myself for this challenge. No, I didn't read them all, but I got a good chunk done. And considering they are DNFs, I was worried about reading them. So I'm happy I got them done. I'm really proud of myself, but I'm getting a little warm. I need to go sit down. With that, I just want to thank you guys so much for being here. Let me know what you guys are reading this week and any books you have recently DNF'd. I would love to hear about it. I hope you guys are having a fabulous start to your February. Can't believe it's February already. Hope you're having a fabulous start to your February, and yeah, live well, read some books, and go discover, my friend. See you next time. Bye.